יואו. זה דומינוס פיצה במרכז הכרמל בחיפה.
אני מעלה את זה גם לסטוריה, הזין שלי.
תראו את זה. דומינוס פיצה.
בגלל זה לא מרגיש...
If McDonald's is the company par excellence when it comes to hamburgers, Domino's is for pizzas. With more than 14,000 establishments worldwide, it is one of the preferred options for many people when ordering food at home, but unfortunately for some, their order would contain something unpleasant inside, causing an unforgettable trauma. To begin with, we have a story that happened in Canada, where a customer complained about the pizza he received, but not because it had something disgusting inside, but because it was missing ingredients. The security cameras of an elevator in British Columbia captured the moment when a pizza deliveryman stopped for a moment to eat the ingredients of one of the pizzas he was about to deliver. It was the janitor of the building who noticed what happened and immediately alerted the neighbor of what was happening. The customer went to the store to complain about what had happened, as he had unknowingly eaten a pizza that had been tampered with by a deliveryman. As a customer, one expects restaurants to have high standards of hygiene, as food is something that should not be played with. Christy Lynn and Michael Setzer, however, did not think so, when in 2009 they were fired for a video they recorded, where they can be seen playing with the ingredients, even sticking them up their noses and sneezing on them, only to use them in the food they would serve to customers minutes later. Christy and Michael were shocked to learn that there would be legal consequences for their actions. The video would become very popular, causing a campaign against Domino's. Many people would avoid the chain's establishments, as they were in constant fear that something like this would happen again. One of the most common complaints when it comes to disgusting things at Domino's Pizza is mold, and the pictures taken by customers are quite disturbing, especially because many of the times they don't realize that the pizza has mold until they eat it and their palate notices something strange. There have been cases since 2014 where customers report this type of incident, such as Matt Hewitt, who ordered a pizza and ate a slice before realizing it, stating that he felt disgusted by the experience, or the most recent one, which occurred in Australia, where a woman planned to celebrate Valentine's Day with her favorite pizza, only to notice a strange taste in her food. A local Domino's located in Coral Springs would become popular, but not because of the food, but because many of the customers would complain on social networks that there were a lot of flies in the restaurant. One of the customers even uploaded a photo as proof of what many were already saying. The case was so popular that even journalists went to the premises to interview the managers of the establishment.
We don't appreciate people that make false reports. Please leave.
False reports? It's public record.
Please, please.
What's false about it?
When the health department claimed to have found more than 200 flies inside, no one seemed surprised, as the restaurant's reputation was already at rock bottom. When you think of the insect you would least like to find in your food, you probably think of a cockroach, because they are insects that carry a lot of diseases. Carlos Navia, originally from Peru, would be the unfortunate one to suffer this experience, as a cockroach was in one of the 2 pizzas he had ordered. Carlos and his family had eaten half of the pizza when they saw the insect in one of the slices. Carlos was a journalist, so his complaint was soon published in all his social networks, warning people not to go to the branch where he ordered his pizza, but to his surprise, many people had already complained on multiple occasions of having found cockroaches inside the pizza in several Domino's restaurants. This event caused all branches in Peru to close temporarily in order to carry out inspections in each establishment. This story happened in Tennessee, inside a restaurant that had been complaining for more than 3 years, and even during health inspections, rats were found, but still, for some reason, the restaurant continued to operate as if everything was fine. Despite the restaurant owner's efforts to avoid closure, A leaked photo was the definitive proof that the authorities needed it to finally decided to close the restaurant. Although this photo led the restaurant to close, the most worrying aspect of the situation is that many of the customers who ordered pizza from there most probably ate rat waste without knowing it, because although it was claimed that this was a unique case where the hygiene of the food was not properly taken care of, no one really believed that this was the case. This story was told by a user on Reddit, who claims to be a Domino's employee and to have worked for the company for more than 5 years. He says that once he was sent to review a restaurant that was very poorly rated by customers, with only 2 stars. When he went to do his inspection, the first thing he noticed was that they did not change the water in the dishwasher all day, so they washed the dishes and utensils with all the leftover food. He describes that when he used a glove and ran a finger over one of those dishes, the latex was impregnated with grease. The inspector adds that he also found chicken with expired expiration dates, and that the food storage areas were dirty and had not been washed for weeks. The employees were using utensils without having cleaned them before, and several of them even had a bad odor. The inspector tells this story on Reddit because despite having photographed everything and having evidence of the poor state in which the food was served, the restaurant continued to operate normally. A very similar situation occurred in Mexico, where some young employees decided it would be fun to take pictures of themselves bathing in the kitchen, or even playing with condoms, all while preparing the food. The photos generated disgust among customers, who were unaware of the conditions in which the pizzas were prepared. Finally, we have the worst anecdote that ever happened at Domino's Pizza. Marta Rusek ordered 2 orders of cheese-filled bread and chocolate cake at a Domino's in Philadelphia, but things didn't turn out the way she thought they would. The woman had eaten half of her meal when she noticed something odd, so she decided not to touch the rest. Rusek said she believes her bread had a mysterious ingredient from an unknown source. According to her, it was human waste. She said that after smelling her food, she had no doubt that it was excrement. The day after the incident, Rusek went to a medical emergency center, where she discovered that she did not contract food poisoning. However, this did not stop her from complaining publicly on Twitter, holding the company responsible. Rusek was contacted by the company to apologize, and it is believed that she reached an agreement with Domino's so that the news would not affect the brand's reputation internationally. Although for many it was all a lie on her part, because just a few days after the incident, Rusek deleted the tweet where she complained about the experience, but in case Rusek is telling the truth, this is undoubtedly the worst thing anyone could find in their food.